Are you experiencing some writer's block over what your main character actually needs? In this video, you're going to learn how to use a tarot card as a storytelling tool. You're going to learn how to read the card intuitively, the actual meaning of the card, and how to associate it with your protagonist. The process that I'm going to show you on how to read a tarot card come from my personal practice, and you're more than welcome to adopt some of these tactics for your own practice if you would like to. Before we do get started, I do recommend that writers who decide to use tarot cards to help overcome their writing blocks use a tarot deck that mostly matches the world that they are creating. I am creating a mermaid character right now, so I am using a mermaid tarot deck. Behind me, below me, there are 4 different Ace of Swords. All of these Ace of Swords essentially mean the same thing, but each deck is going to give you different creative writing prompts. So I just highly recommend that you use a tarot deck that mostly matches the world that you're writing. I'm Chris, and I'm a certified tarot reader who's building a community of writers who use tarot cards to help overcome their writing blocks. So let's get into it. To start reading the card intuitively, we're going to use our 6 senses. What do we see, hear, feel emotionally when we look at the card, feel physically within the card, taste, and smell. So I see a sword lying on the bottom of the ocean in a ship. It looks like a very big sword, so it looks like it's like meaningful. There's a symbolism to it. What do I hear? Probably just ocean. I don't really hear much of anything else. There's no fish. There's nothing else really swimming around, but whatever the currents are underneath the ocean. What do I feel emotionally when I'm looking at this card? I feel a sense of loss. I do feel a sense of treasure that can be found at some point in life if someone ever decides to go deep sea diving. What do I actually feel physically within the card? I might actually feel the weight of the sword. However, the water might help it float up a little bit, so maybe it would be easier to lift. I do feel the floorboards. They're kind of moldy. They're kind of like mossy because it's been underneath the water for so long. Maybe the rope that's along the floor. Maybe the plants, even the barrel. I feel a lot of wood actually in this card. I'm not sure that I taste anything necessarily specific, but I might actually taste seawater or murky water. It looks like this has been a ship that's been under the water for quite some time, a shipwreck, and I don't think it's going to be safe to even taste, even if I wanted to. And smell, probably mold. I mean, it's an old ship, it's underneath the water. Water makes things mold. Probably mold. To go one step further into the card to understand what the card is about, we're going to create a small short story. It can go as big or small as you want. You can go Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You can go what happened before the scene, what's happening right now, and what's going to happen after. So essentially what I'm kind of getting is, for some reason what's going through my head is the Little Mermaid and a shipwreck. Just something going down, a shipwreck going underneath the water, and this right now is just a sword waiting to be discovered. And I do kind of feel like the Act 3 would probably be, I don't know, something kind of like Titanic, where they're actually going deep sea diving to find a sword or a treasure or something of this ship. Maybe this ship is finally actually going to be found. Maybe it's a ship that was lost at sea and now it's finally going to be found. So what does the Ace of Swords actually mean? The Ace of Swords is the beginning of a new cycle. Swords is associated with the element of air. Air is associated with our thoughts and our communication. Since this is the beginning of a new cycle, the thought has not quite fully formed yet. It's more of an idea. It's not quite, we don't know what to do with this idea yet. It's just the beginning of how to think, speak, communicate, all that kind of stuff. It's just the idea. Something I've also mentioned before is because swords is associated with thoughts and communication, they're also associated with words. Words are sometimes hurt people's feelings. If you look at the sword, it's double-edged. It's pointy. Sometimes words hurt. Sometimes words are not so hurtful. But they do have a tendency to jab people if you poke them the wrong way. A lot of tarot readers, or according to some tarot books, when the Ace of Swords comes up, it does sort of mean pregnancy. I'm not a fan of that. Swords are pointy to me and swords hurt, so I have adopted more of the wands to be more phallic-y and more pregnancy-like. I don't really do pregnancy readings just because if you haven't done it or if you haven't taken a test yet, I just think that that's the more sciencey way to go about it. Don't focus on tarot to find out if you're pregnant. That's just not the way to do it. But I just kind of feel like swords are pointy and they hurt, and so I don't really use that mentality toward pregnancy. So how do we take all of this information and associate it with what this main character needs? We've discussed over the past few videos and along the way that this character has a problem with thoughts and communication. Maybe they're told how to speak, told what to do, told how to think. And in the last video with what they want, it seems like they wanted to just break out and not be as nice with their words. So it feels like to me what this character needs is to adopt some sort of a backbone, some sort of go on a new journey of thoughts and communication in order to grow as a human, as a person, probably as a person because we're dealing with a mermaid. But it just feels like they need to adopt some sort of a new mentality toward the job or toward their life, toward the people around them, toward their reputation. That just seems to be the new journey that they need in order to grow and get out of the situation that they're currently in. I understand that's a lot easier said than done, especially with a tarot card, but I do feel like a lot of that will come out through the story that's being told once we get to that point. But now that we know what the character needs, we can use story plot points to focus on how to use this journey to help the character grow over the course of the story. If the Ace of Swords came up for your main character and what they actually need, how would you have read it? I actually like knowing how other people read the card, because it's just different people see different things in the same card, and it's just kind of interesting to see how the world keeps going around like that. If you're enjoying learning how to read tarot cards in this way, maybe you want to enhance your own tarot practice, maybe you want to meet other writers who are also using tarot, maybe you want to get some help with the cards that you're pulling for your own projects, I'd like to invite you to the Narrative Flow. It's a community on my website. I'm trying to create a safe space for writers to explore their spirituality, explore their creative writing, and be supported as they grow as writers as well. In the next video of this series, we're going to be discussing what mask this character wears. Please remember to interact with this video so that I remain in your feed, and I will see you in the next one.